set through these laws, the universal health coverage will succeed.
The laws that we have passed, you just need to identify yourself, and the doctor can pull out your health records, diagnose, know what kind of medicine you've had before, know what kind of condition you've suffered from before, and be able to assist you going forward.
There is data, and research has shown that the cost of curing a disease is 9 times the cost of preventing one. So therefore, Your Excellency, this intervention in another 4 or 5 years will also bring down the cost of the health bill.
We can collect real-time data and use that data to make effective decisions that affect the health of this country. And Your Excellency, again importantly, that now we are going to network facilities into a primary care network using the digital technology that has been provided.
Ruto saying that with an improved healthcare system, Kenyans will no longer be rendered destitute while in pursuit of treatment, as has been the case for millions.
The social health insurance bill has ensured that we will have more contribution by all Kenyans, because I don't see, even in the village, one will not be willing to contribute 300 shillings just to secure the future of the family.
By signing these bills today, you enable the health system in Kenya to be resilient and ready for those challenges.
It depends on how the executive is going to implement them. That is what is going to determine whether we are going to see the full effect, whether we are going to see enjoyment of UHC by all Kenyans.
The ascension of the 4 bills into law has been hailed as a game changer in the health sector, as it sets the tone for the attainment of universal health coverage that has remained elusive for years. Nancy Okware reporting for Prime Edition from State House, Nairobi.
Thank you, Okware, for that report. Azimio la Umoja, one of Kenya Alliance leaders, have maintained the government must compensate victims of the Mavoko demolitions amid threats they will call for a boycott of products manufactured by the cement company. This comes as Lands Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome talked tough, warning land grabbers that the government will not be cowed in repossessing grabbed land, even as she urged Kenyans to be extra vigilant when procuring land and to avoid being duped.
7 days after the sound of bulldozers were heard bringing down buildings in Athi River, the matter is yet to quiet down. Azimio allied leaders led by Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka have waded into the debate, demanding government compensate the victims.
What greater hustler can you have than somebody in Mavoko amefanya whatever they can, wanauza, wanafanya kidogo, angalau ajenge nyumba, unaharibu.
We are a community that should be respected. Na kama watu wanataka vitu hapa kwetu, wakuje tusemezane. I will stand for my people.
Additionally, they have urged all persons who have been victims of demolitions to unite and file a class action lawsuit against the government, even as Kitui Senator Enoch Wambua threatened to drastic action.
It will be a mistake for the county government of Machakos, the county government of Kitui, the county government of Makueni to purchase any product from East African Portland Cement. Hiyo ndio tutakuwa tumesema.
Ufungue hiyo file na tutangaze Wakenya wote ambao wanatishwa, watabomolewa, watafurushwa, waingie kwa hii case ili tuweke injunction taifa mzima, wa Kenya waachanwe na wao.
As the opposition leaders remain steadfast, the demolitions were inhumane. In Ardhi House, the newly appointed Land Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome was talking tough. The CS said they will not hesitate to take action on cartels duping Kenyans to purchase land acquired illegally.
Any person on public land must start preparing to vacate with immediate effect or as soon as possible, because we are coming to recover public land. Any other person purporting to own, to be on that land, is there, unfortunately, at their own risk. The land belongs to East African Portland.
We want to ensure that
any public land, be it a forest, be it a school, be it a market, any public land that is occupied by private individuals will be recovered. And I think they know themselves. We are just warning them so that they don't say tomorrow that we did not give them a sufficient notice.
Timothy Kipnosu for Prime Edition.
Senior Principal Magistrate Eunice Nyutu will hear the case against former Treasury Cabinet Secretary Henry Rotich. This after she declined to disqualify herself from hearing a corruption case facing former Treasury Cabinet Secretary Henry Rotich and 8 others. The magistrate in her ruling stated that the application for disqualification filed by the prosecution did not meet the threshold for her disqualification. And as Ruth Wamboi reports, the Senior Principal Magistrate has vowed not to allow the prosecution to hold the court at ransom in discharging its duties.
Thursday, the Milimani Law Court and Senior Principal Magistrate from the Anti-Corruption Court, Eunice Nyutu entered the courtroom to set the record straight.
Judges do not choose their cases, and litigants do not choose their judges. An application for recusal should not prevail unless it is based on substantial grounds for contending and reasonable apprehension of bias.
She has been dealing with the graft case where Henry Rotich and 8 other accused persons are charged for having misappropriated 63 billion shillings meant for the construction of Aro and Kimare dams. However, the state prosecution recently applied to have her disqualify herself.
I solemnly swore to uphold justice without fear or favor and to abide by the Constitution and the laws of Kenya. The Constitution at Article 159 avails to judicial officers the presumption of impartiality.
The prosecution has so far called a total of 41 witnesses who have not tendered their evidence against Rotich and his co-accused.
Having stood her ground that she is on this graft case up to the end, the Aro and Kimore Dam continues on 30th October 2023 when more witnesses will be lined up.
Meanwhile, Shanzu Principal Magistrate Yusuf Shikanda has declined to grant an order preventing the Senate Ad Hoc Committee from investigating the activities of the controversial Shakahola preacher, Paul Mackenzie.
It is not for this court to direct Senate, to speak for Senate and direct Senate on what it should or should not do.
Last week, the Danson Mungatana-led Committee of Prolification of Religious Organizations summoned Mackenzie to appear before the committee on Tuesday this week, but was not availed by police officers. Elsewhere, Brian Mwendanjagi was charged with 6 counts, among them identity theft, making a false document and uttering a false document, who spent the long weekend in police custody. Ruth Wamboi for Prime Edition.
The government plans to constitute a task force to establish how much of taxpayers' money is currently lost daily through corruption and come up with tangible ways of sealing the loopholes. According to the head of Public Service, Felix Koskei, the task force will give a clear and updated picture following a revelation in January 2021 that put the figure of 2 billion shillings daily. Here is our reporter Abdiziz Hashim with the details.
Drawn from different non-governmental organizations converged at the Bomas of Kenya for a meeting with the head of public service, Felix Koskei, with the aim of being part of the solution to the corruption menace. The meeting also led to the revelation that the government intends to formulate a research to establish how much the taxpayers' money is lost in a day, following revelation close to 3 years ago that 2 billion Kenya shillings was being lost then.
It is a shocking figure, isn't it? And we've been also asking ourselves, and I think even during our donor working group, the same question came about. And we have had discussions, and we have sought a development partner who is ready to fund the study around the same so that we can come with a true figure. So that one, these discussions are going on because we really need to know, is it true? If it is true, which areas?
Koskei says The government plans to work with a development partner to finance the research that is of interest to the members of the public.
But 2 billion, I think, was a figure that came on top of the head by then. It might be true, it might be more, it might be less, I don't know. But let us wait for the report to come out.
The head of public service, Felix Koskei, has revealed that the government intends to roll out a new system whereby the citizenry and the members of the civil society can report cases of corruption. But for now, they have been urged to make use of the whistleblower system under the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. Abdiaziz Hashim from the Bomas of Kenya, Prime Edition.
Well, it's time for a break, but when you come back, we do want to show you a little bit about what's going on in Kericho County. That and more coming up shortly.
Nchi yetu inaandamwa na kolera, inaharisha na kutapisha inao.
Je, unajua kuna mkurupuko wa kolera nchini? Kolera inasababisha kuharisha, kutapika na inaua haraka. Yoyote aliye na dalili hizo apewe ORS au maji mengi na apelekwe hospitalini apate matibabu haraka. Ingawa kolera ni hatari, kuitwanga ni rahisi. Kwanza, tumia choo kujisaidia wakati wote. Pili, osha mikono na sabuni na maji safi kwenye nyakati muhimu. Tatu, zingatia usafi wa chakula. Osha na upike chakula vizuri. 4, kunywa maji yaliyotibiwa au kuchemshwa pekee. Jamii inakutegemea. Jilinde na ulinde jamii yako. Zingatia usafi ili ujali watu wako. Sote tuko na jukumu la kuangamiza kolera. Wanafunzi, walimu na vijana, wamama na wazee. Tutwange kolera.
Pamoja, tutwange kolera. Tutwange kolera.
All holders are notified to report and surrender unclaimed financial assets to the Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority, UFAA, on or before November 1st, 2023. It is now easier to report and surrender. Visit www.ufaa.go.ke and get started. Beat the November 1st deadline. It is your turn to surrender and report qualifying unclaimed financial assets. Pass the baton. Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority. Receive, safeguard, reunite.
Tuache kudanganyana. Hapa mali safi, mali mbichi, kijani kibichi. Tuko Lucky Game. Tunashibishana. Dial *570 hash. Chagua sanduku ya Lucky Game. Utapata sanduku 7 zinakungoja mahali pale. Chagua yako. Mali kibao, tuko na viti, tuko na vifriji hapa, tuko na TV, tuko na microwave na pia tuko na chapa. All happening kwa *570 hash. Jishibishe.
As we celebrate this year's Mashujaa Day, your national broadcaster KBC has prepared a special lineup of programs to make this occasion memorable. Follow live the comprehensive coverage of the Mashujaa Day celebrations on Friday, 20th October 2023 from Kericho Green Stadium on KBC Channel 1 and our radio stations. And later in the evening, Kitwek FM and Radio Taifa will have a night event at Stakeout Lounge in Kericho from 8 p.m. till dawn. Let us celebrate our local heroes and heroines. Heko kwa Mashujaa wetu.
Welcome back. Well, tomorrow is Mashujaa Day and Kericho County is all set to host this year's Mashujaa Day. And we have Kamche on ground who wants to give you all the details and what to expect tomorrow. Kamche?
Well, thank you so much, Cynthia, and you said it right. We are in Kericho County right now. Where we are is at the Kericho Golf Club, and what is happening behind me is that the county government is hosting a dinner gala, or rather a gala dinner for the Mashujaas from all the 47 counties in the country. I understand there are about 150, and these are some of the Mashujaas, or the heroes and heroines that will be recognized tomorrow during the Mashujaa Day national celebrations. Remember, it's only hours to the day, and the celebrations will be held in Kericho County at the Kericho Green Stadium. So basically, that is what is happening here. But without much ado, allow me to go straight into what we have prepared for you from Kericho County in the course of the day. And straight on is that Kericho County is all set to host this year's Mashujaa Day national celebrations. On Friday, all roads will lead to the Kericho Green Stadium, the venue of the event. Security has been enhanced, and traffic on busy roads to and from the region rerouted to ensure festivities run smoothly. Here is Giverson Maina, who prepared or compiled this story for us in the course of the day.
Hours to the Mashujaa Day national celebrations, and the Kericho Green Stadium in the heart of Kericho town is abuzz with activity. Final rehearsals ahead of the big day. The Kenya Defence Forces, National Police Service, and other disciplined forces and entertainment groups putting the final touches to their routine. However, due to bad weather conditions, Kenyans will not witness the much coveted military air performance. The recently refurbished Kericho Green Stadium that was handed over to the Ministry of Sports has a seating capacity of 10,000.
This facility is being delivered here today, and we are celebrating the conclusion of a project that is the result of a good team effort. If we work, or your other stadiums will copy what your team did in this Kericho Stadium, we will not be having white elephant projects. We'll be having projects delivered on record time.
A number of roads will be closed between 5 p.m. Thursday and 5 a.m. Friday, and traffic rerouted. Public service vehicles and private cars without accreditation will not be allowed in town. The stadium gates open at 3 a.m. and members of the public should be seated by 7 a.m., 2 hours before the start of the festivities.
Security will be provided at all parking zones. Motorists and motorcycle riders are advised to comply with the direction given by the police. They will also be required to ensure they lock their motor vehicles and the motorcycles as a security measure.
It's all systems go for the Mashujaa Day celebrations tomorrow, with the main focus being universal health care, as President William Ruto looks forward to launching the community health program. Giverson Minor, Prime Edition at the Kericho Green Stadium in Kericho County.
Thank you so much, Giverson Maina, for that report. And residents of Kericho County have expressed their joy in the ongoing facelift of the region ahead of the Mashujaa Day national celebrations. Among the goodies delivered is recarpeting of major roads in Kericho town and its environs, and the elevation of the Kericho County Referral Hospital to a level 5 facility. The new face of Kericho town in Kericho County. A final sprucing up of some of the major roads recarpeted as the clock ticks towards Friday. Residents say the Mashujaa Day has brought good tidings.
Nafurahia kwa hiyo Mashujaa kuletwa hapa juu imetufanyia mambo mazuri, kama town imeng'ara.
Kama hii imefanyiwa ukarabati, unaona hapa hivi kuna zingine zenye zinaingia mtaa hapo chini.
Wanabiashara watasaidika pia. Na sisi pia ni mara ya kwanza, so we are very lucky.
Naona maendeleo imekuwa, Kericho yetu imeoswa, tuko sawa, biashara iko sawa, hatuna shida yoyote.
Among the benefits is a new modern look for Kericho Green Stadium.
We have new stands, we have a new pavilion, a brand new with a capacity of 2,000 guests will be seated there, and we will have adequate space within and outside the stadium.
Together with the county government of Kericho, will also be moving in to finish up and polish what's remaining. I made a special request to Wasiri to give us the tartan track so that we finally have even athletics, because we know Kalenjin is a home of athletes, and we'll also be having athletes here in the field here.
It is a historic ground.
Yes.
It is well located. It is at the heart of an area that is a hotbed of talents. And so we are mobilizing resources to put up a fitting sporting monument at Kapkatet.
This year's Mashujaa Day celebrations will see the launch of Universal Health Coverage Scheme. Kericho County Referral Hospital is among facilities elevated to facilitate implementation of UHC in the region.
One of the things that we'll be doing tomorrow is to launch the Universal Health Coverage Program, what we are now calling the Afya Nyumbani. And for this time, we know that the Universal Health Coverage Program has been there, but we are refocusing our energies to preventive, promotive, and bringing services closer to the people.
Kericho County residents further expect an economic boost from activities related to hosting the national celebrations.
We have a complete, construction or reconstruction of the county commissioners' of residence, where the garden party will be held, the Kerenga airstrip, which our visitors and guests will be landing and taking off, has also been completely changed. It was a bush, and it was, it wasn't in the standard that it was required.
The recarpeting of this road is one of the many goodies that have come with the hosting of the Mashujaa Day national celebrations in Kericho County. Now, earlier on, when you crossed over to us here in Kericho, I told you that where I am at the Kericho Golf Club, where gala dinner is being held by the county government of Kericho, of course, to engage the Mashujaas from all the 47 counties. But before the governor joined the congregation in the background, we spoke to him. Let's listen in to what he had to say about this particular event.
Well, I would want to sincerely appreciate His Excellency the President and the entire Kenya Kwanza government for choosing Kericho for this occasion. As we speak right here today, we are beneficiaries of close to 17 kilometers of tarmac road, 10 kilometers in town, and we have seen a rapid expansion of town. I had a discussion with Murkomen, and I requested it for 20, but he approved 12 immediately for Kericho town, and 2 for Kapka, 2 kilometers for Kapka the town, where we were doing the medical expo. We also have the airport that we have done 30% so far. We have 75% remaining of the wards. And CS Murkomen and the Kenya Kwanza government, which I also belong, has committed 400 million towards the completion of the airport. We have negotiated with the Katera to extend the runway by 2 kilometers. And this will see us have 2.5 kilometers of runway. We will have close to 80 acres carved out of Ekatera. And this will be the status of Wilson Airport. This particular airport will open up to Kericho on matters tourism, on matters business, and this will be an airport that will serve the entire region of South Rift. Our hospitals, we have already built an ICU facility at Kapkatet Hospital. The national government, through this Mashujaa, has equipped our modern ICU to a tune of 20 million.
That brief interview with the governor of Kericho County, a sum of what we have been able to compile for you from Kericho this day. But of course, tomorrow the event will be aired live on KBC. That's it from Kericho. Allow me to hand you over back to studio. But before that, let's take this short break. Then my colleague Steve Kenyamai will continue with the day's bulletin.
mchezaji wa Loto Moto.
Mungu awabariki sana.
Ni wengi wanakushukuru bila hata wewe kufahamu.
Niliona Mungu wa ajabu ameshuka.
Ni wengi wanaokuaminia.
Imejaa, imebaki, yani hamtasabi.
Ni wengi wanaokuombea ushindi.
Hawa ndio niachiwe na mama yao wakati aliwajeka kwa muda.
Ni wengi unaowagusa kwa kuwapa afueni na imani ya maisha.
Asante na Mungu akubariki pia.
Ni wengi unawatembelea.
Through hii program ndo tunajua vitu zingine.
Na imani yako inawapa amani.
Akaaga juu ya kansa.
Ushindi wako ni wa wengi.
Roma niendanga, Roma.
Asante mchezaji wa Loto Moto. Pindi tunapowasha vifaa vyetu, tunapata fursa ya kutangamana na wasikilizaji wetu.
Karibu sana thĩinĩ wa tabarĩra ya Rwiga.
Tunapeperusha utangazaji uliobobea katika habari,
Nĩ ũndũ wa macio na mangĩ maingĩ,
burudani,
nĩ harĩa tũkoragwo tũkĩigua nyĩmbo mwaki nyĩmbo hot,
na hamasisho la kiroho. Usiachwe nyuma. Jiunge nasi kwa safari ya kufana katika 99.5 FM. Soro FM.
Welcome back. It's now time for business, as Kamcha told us a little bit about tomorrow's celebration in Kericho. We will be covering that for you live from tomorrow morning. Now, Telkom Kenya Chief Mugo Kibati is facing Senate censure after he failed to appear before the Senate Information Committee. Committee Chair Alan Chesang has given Mugo 2 weeks to appear before the committee to shed light on the concerted deal with American Tower Corporation. The Senate ICT team is probing the sale and contractual agreement with the American company.
Telkom Kenya is undergoing a major system downtime due to its ongoing tiff with American Tower Corporation. The telco has witnessed service interruptions and customer complaints after ATC switched off its mast over non-payment of 200 million shillings in rental fees for 723 masts leased by ATC. Telkom Kenya Chief Mugo Kibati was expected to shed more light on what the telco is doing to settle the bill owed to the American company. However, Mugo failed to show up, forcing the meeting to be adjourned to the 4th of November. Telkom Kenya is said to have defaulted on its 4 billion shillings payment to ATC Kenya under their master lease agreement for a tower sale and leaseback transaction struck in 2018. Today, the Cabinet Secretary for Information, Communication and Digital Economy, Eliud Owalo, told the committee that the government has already put in place various measures to get Telkom Kenya back on its feet. Broadcasting Principal Secretary Edward Kisiangani told the committee that Telkom Kenya's turnaround process will help improve the fixed line telephony operator. The chair of the committee, Alan Chesang, has warned the Telkom Kenya chief of tough penalties if he continues to skip the Senate summons. Frederick Moki for Prime Edition.
Ezra Chiloba, the Director General of the Communication Authority, has resigned. Chiloba's resignation comes after his suspension a month ago on allegation of abuse of office and conflict of interest.
A month ago, Ezra Chiloba was suspended as the Director General of the Communication Authority of Kenya after accusations emerged that he had allegedly misused funds of the authority's 662.4 million shilling staff mortgage scheme. The suspended Ezra Chiloba handed in his resignation letter amid the ongoing probe into his allegedly abuse of office. In a statement, board chairperson Mary Mungai expressed appreciation for Chiloba's contribution to the organization and wished him well in his future endeavors. The statement read in part, the Board of Directors of the Communications Authority of Kenya has accepted the resignation of Ezra Chiloba as the Director General. Chiloba resigned yesterday, October 18th, 2023, in a letter to the chairperson of the CA Board. Based on the findings of an audit report on the management of the staff mortgage scheme, Chiloba was accused of paying 25 million shillings to a firm he is linked with, pointing to a conflict of interest, and also clearing staff who left CA despite having unpaid loans. Weri Mujenga for Prime Edition.
Kenya has amassed about 52,000 ecotypes of different types of plant species that represent food crops, forestry and medicinal plant genetics resources. This has been made possible thanks to Kenya's long-term seed bank, which has deployed science and technology in conserving Kenya's seed heritage. Here's our reporter Alan Mavoko, who has packaged the following report after visiting the Genetic Resources Research Institute.
Did you know that in case of a cataclysmic event and you lost seeds to your favorite maize plant or maybe a sorghum or millet, there's an institute that actually takes care and stores these seeds for future use? You did know? Take a look.
Tucked deep in the leafy rural suburbs of Muguga in Kikuyu Town, Kiambu County, we find a facility surrounded by a variety of lush indigenous trees and plants. The facility is Kenya's only semi-autonomous genetic resources gene bank run by the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Organization. The Genetic Resources Research Institute's seed bank collection is premised on enhancing food security, as the Institute's director, Dr. Desterio Nyamongo, explains.
This facility is about conserving the genetic diversity of plants, that's including crops and wild plants.
How does the seed conservation technology work? The gene banking process comprises three main activities: collection of the seeds or germplasm, processing and freezing of the seeds, and storage of the seeds. Once materials are brought in, they are given unique identifiers or national accession numbers, which then identify specific plants at the gene bank. The seed is cleaned here to remove any debris or foreign matter. The seed is tested for viability using specialized techniques involving several laboratory viability machines that analyze genetic stability before freezing, like these drying, sorting, weighing and moisture monitoring machines.
You need to process the materials such that they are effectively dry. You bring down the moisture content to less than 70% moisture content, and then freeze these materials in -20.
Then the seed is dried mechanically to reduce the moisture content to a level that is safe for long-term storage in specialized scientific equipment. These machines can read and optimize desired outcomes using special sensors. The seed is then packaged in airtight containers. Each container is placed into special aluminum packets. The equipment is of different specifications, giving out digital readings on the status of samples. The seed is then stored at low temperatures in these large cooling walk-in refrigerators. Here we see several shelves used to prevent degradation and maintain viability. The large digital cooling storage facility is designed to prevent pests and diseases from damaging the seed. The digital cooling storage facility is monitored regularly to ensure that the required temperature, humidity, and other environmental conditions are maintained. In all this, however, scientists say we can do better in maintaining the country's only gene bank.
Automated technologies are now in place where a person does not require to go into the cold room to process the materials or store. So such are some of the technologies that we are lacking, where you can automate when you want take a sample from -20, you don't have to walk in.
And we need to strengthen these organizations. We need to strengthen our policies. We need to provide the funds, the resources, the mechanisms to be able to safeguard all our heritage. And yeah, I think beyond that, I believe it's only we are our own dictators of our own success.
Species have different lifespans in this seed bank, ranging from 100 to thousands of years. For example, researchers say the finger millet can be stored here for thousands of years. Alanauko, Prime Edition.
Thank you, Alan Oko, for that report. Real estate developers are championing for the adoption of technology and innovative ways of building homes that are affordable and environmentally sustainable. The developers highlighted the need to explore affordable home solutions as well as new approaches to financing construction and design without compromising the quality.
Housing affordability has remained a persistent challenge for most Kenyans, even as the government rolls out the affordable housing agenda, which targets to put up 250,000 housing units annually.
So far we are at about 70,000, began a bit late. So this means in the next 5 years, we shall be having an additional 1 million housing units.
Real estate sector developers highlighted the need to embrace innovative, climate-resilient, affordable housing solutions, use of alternative building materials, and explore new and sustainable construction techniques to reduce the cost of building homes.
And we need to leverage on technology to create housing solutions that are not only affordable, but also environmentally friendly. So this is a clarion call to all the exhibitors and players in the industry to think outside the norm, to think why have we been building year in, year out, and we still say that there is housing shortage in the country.
KPDA is actively engaged in facilitating developers to be able to access vital tax incentives. These incentives are pivotal to reducing the cost of construction, enabling developers to build affordably, and thus contribute to the vision of affordable housing for all.
Through collaboration with the private developers, national and county governments can adopt new strategies that go beyond traditional brick and mortar construction to address the housing shortage. Nairobi Deputy Governor said the county government will provide at least 100,000 affordable housing units within the city in the next 5 years through the ongoing urban renewal program of the old county estates.
Technology, with better planning, we can actually fit in a lot more units into those same neighborhoods. So we are going through a program of urban renewal. We have started with some of our estates. We continue to contract with private developers to be able to regenerate this and offer them to our residents at affordable prices.
Developers were urged to uphold integrity and remain ethical in their practice. They were speaking at the 34th edition of Home Expo 2023 under the theme Unlimited Creativity. Weri Mujenga for Prime Edition.
This story requires me to smile because Kenyans are preferring content that has good vibes, humor, celebrating everyday life moments, and leveraging relationships in the lives of Kenyan consumers. This is according to the inaugural Kenya Happiness Index that indicates that a majority of Kenyans prefer light content that create happy memories, as our reporter Frederick Muyoki narrates.
The inaugural Kenya Happiness Index indicates that the happiness index in Kenya is at 51%, mainly fueled by happiness marketing, where brands market their products to make consumers feel appreciated. This is because most Kenyans prefer watching content that has humor and celebrates everyday life moments which they can relate with.
Happiness marketing is just linking, making people feel good about themselves, and then linking that good feeling, that good vibe to your brand. Have you ever wondered why certain products or categories are addictive to people. It's a feel-good feeling.
Despite the high cost of living highlighted by costlier products, Kenyans are still spending on what could be considered as luxury. This is fueled by the lipstick effect, as Pierin Consulting CEO Seyi Adioyo explains.
When there's pressure, I will still find one thing that, this one, I don't care. I'm going to spend that money on it, and I'll think of how to get money tomorrow. We say ladies, for example, in Lagos, for this particular thing, we find out that they're spending a lot on cosmetics. And you say, you know what, now I walk, now I don't eat like I want, now I don't eat out. Well, it's called the lipstick effect. And all of us, if you look into your individual life, there are things that we all indulge in. There are things that we all it's called the lipstick effect.
He says spending on chocolate, going out for a meal, cosmetics has not been affected by the high cost of living, as Kenyans opt for products that make them happy and offer them satisfaction in life. His advice on companies unveiling new products is to ensure that the products are affordable, because consumers are now more pragmatic and will buy new products if these are within their expected price range for the category. Frederick Muki for Prime Edition.
Lake Victoria has emerged as an ideal tropical destination for those keen on beach product, with some tourists now preferring it to over the coast. Tonight on Magical Scene, Irene Muchuma Odim highlights the beauty of Homa Bay on the lake shores of Lake Victoria.
Lake Victoria is the largest inland lake in Africa and the largest tropical lake in the world. Kenya is advantaged to share the beauty of this magical lake with its neighboring nations Tanzania and Uganda. The lake covers a surface area of 68,800 square kilometers. Lake Victoria boasts of unrivaled natural beauty, with ranges from the sea view, fishing and water sports. Lake Victoria is also a bird's paradise, especially if you visited Rusinga, Homa Bay County. At least 360 species of local and migratory birds have been spotted in Rusinga, most of which are not found anywhere else in Kenya. The beaches of Lake Victoria in Homa Bay are a beauty that are continually attracting tourists who are increasingly preferring the lakeside to the white beaches of the Indian Ocean. And if you can be just a little patient with nature, then you would enjoy the setting of the African sun.
From the room, from this end to the other end, when you walk in, it's a pin interest photo worthy, and you want to experience this.
And it's a very interesting place to visit as well, but people would normally come to Rusinga and take a boat to Takawiri as well. Apart from that, we also have the Birds Island. It's also, there are two islands, nearby islands. That's where all the birds spend the night. And it's a very good place for fishing as well. And mostly we will normally take the guests there for sundowners. because you'll be able to see the sun setting right into the horizon, in the water, and we will also have the birds coming in before you leave back for the lodge.
Irene Choma Odim, multiple scenes in the county of Homa Bay.
Holders are notified to report and surrender unclaimed financial assets to the Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority, UFAA, on or before November 1st, 2023.
Wait, Julia, kwani nawe hauna hati?
Joseph, I'd really tried stopping her, but she's quite strong.
Kinyash! So you're leaving a baby mama kijiongelesha?
Pass the baton. Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority. Receive, safeguard, reunite.
As we celebrate this year's Mashujaa Day, your national broadcaster KBC has prepared a special lineup of programs to make this occasion memorable. Follow live the comprehensive coverage of the Mashujaa Day celebrations on Friday, 20th October 2023 from Kericho Green Stadium on KBC Channel 1 and our radio stations. And later in the evening, Kitwek FM and Radio Taifa will have a night event at Stakeout Lounge in Kericho from 8 p.m. till dawn. Let us celebrate our local heroes and heroines. Heko kwa mashujaa wetu.
Kwa hivyo Bazenga unasema wewe ni mtu ya mbogi ya Ulolo.
Sasa wewe unaongelesha huu mzee lugha gani?
Nasema tena timia ati nilisukuma wewe. Nikileza mahakama, wheelchair yako ulikuja weka lock. Normally usipoweka lock itarudisha reverse. Ikarudisha wewe reverse, ikaende kaangusha wewe huko. Orongo tupu.
Wewe kazi yako ilikuwa umeletewa mgonjwa utibu ama uangalie kama ana marasmus ama anafanya vitu gani?
I was supposed to treat him.
Na mbona hukufanya hiyo hivyo unataka?
Akarudi nyuma.
Sasa mimi nampelekeanga nampatianga msosi, nampikia msosi, vitu kama hizo.
Msosi nini?
Chakula.
Endelea.
Wewe ulisaliwa wapi wewe? Vitu kama hizo ujue.
Wewe endelea.
Umesema unaitwa Sylvester.
In short silly.
Silly. Silly.
Yes.
Mse, ukamboleta hospitali.
Ndio.
Nikienda kumutibu, wheelchair ikarudi nyuma. Si ndio?
Hapana, no. Wewe ndio ulimsukuma. Sema ukweli ndio hii mahakama ikunyonge.
Let us go slowly.
Ni kweli, hiyo ndio kitu imebaki.
Welcome back. Kenya Power is engaging with county governments to match their energy needs and establish the infrastructure required in the implementation of the county aggregation and industrial parks in each county. Kenya Power's Managing Director, Dr. Joseph Siro, says the partnership will involve identification of challenges and possible opportunities for improved service delivery and access to electricity.
Earlier in the year, Kenya added 102.34 megawatts to its installed capacity for electricity generation, boosting efforts to provide stable power at peak time demand. Kenya Power has further turned to partnerships with devolved units to improve access.
And as Kenya Power, we greatly appreciate this engagement. Indeed, it has been in our plan to engage all the counties across the entire country so that we can see the areas of challenges and possibly areas where we can better our partnership.
In a meeting at Steamer Plaza, Nairobi, land was singled out as a critical component in powering industrialization.
Installation and provision of the power, they will not run into hitches because of our poor planning and implementation of the initial stage. And we have asked the MD to put up a team to work with our team to ensure that we will not have very many demolitions and rectification.
Land donated in Tharaka Nithi County will be utilized to set up a 15 megavolt ampere station that will strengthen the quality of power supply. Earlier Thursday, the utility firm experienced delays on the purchase of electricity tokens, which they attributed to a technical hitch. In a statement, Kenya Power said it was experiencing a system glitch that was affecting the generation of tokens for users seeking to top up their account. However, later in the day, Kenya Power issued a statement announcing that the prepaid system glitch had been resolved. Alanaoko, Prime Edition.
He has supported close to 1,000 orphans and other children from very poor backgrounds for more than 2 decades. The beneficiaries are not only from Kenya, but across East Africa. This is the story of Bishop David Munyiri Thagana, who in June 2023 won the National Diversity and Inclusion Awards and Recognition, otherwise known as the DIAR Award, for standing out as Peace and Cohesion Champion.
He is a father of many children, all spread across East Africa. The children, close to 1,000 in total, are not his biological sons and daughters, but orphans or from very poor backgrounds. Born in Karatina, Nyeri County in 1966, Bishop David Thagana at first wanted to become a journalist.
Didn't become exactly a newscaster as far as the news are concerned in the television and the radios, but I became a newscaster in the communities.
Bishop Thagana is the founder and presiding bishop of Glory Outreach Assembly Ministries, which he started in 1991 when he was a teacher of English and Christian Religious Education (CRE) at Karima Girls High School in Nyandarua County.
So much that I could not divide myself in the teaching and also doing ministry. And I'm a person who loves excellence. That what my hand finds to do, I like to do it well, because that's what the Bible tells me in Colossians 3:23, that whatever I do it as to the Lord.
Service to humanity is service to God. Whereas this may sound a cliche, it forms from the philosophy that has guided Bishop Thagana's philanthropic life.
Jesus cared so much about the orphans, and he talked about the least of this, and he said, whatever you do to them, you do it to me. Those philosophies of the Christian faith influenced me a great deal.
Married to Reverend Joyce Njeri, the couple is blessed with 3 biological children and 1 adopted son.
Also a married man to Joyce, and he is also a father of 2 daughters and 1 son, and 4 grandchildren.
After a decade as an educationist, the bishop followed his passion and focused full-time on empowering people through Glory Outreach Assembly Goa, which focuses on 5 pillars: peace building, compassion and dignity, taking the gospel to the unreached, development and leadership.
I've always wanted to read the Bible there, but they can't read because they don't know how to read. Now we have a class of 57 for adult literacy within the church. That is the kind of transformation that I wanted to see within the church.
Besides the biological children, Bishop David runs 8 children's homes in different counties.
Where we are taking care of them, providing food, education, it is their home, we are their parents, and we are excited to do that.
Bishop Thagana has sunk boreholes in Turkana and Samburu counties.
We've been able to change that community and to get people to love each other. In Marsabit, among the Redire people, we have been able to help people engage with issues of water and sink boreholes. In Garissa, we prepared a missionary in Nairobi, a Kenyan, and sent him to Garissa. He's teaching people how to do farming because they have the Tana River, but they didn't know how to farm.
He runs 160 churches across East and Central Africa.
It has grown to become a global ministry with churches in Kenya, all over the counties, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania, Congo, and South Sudan. And a lot of other movements of Christian believers that associate with our values in the United States and also in Switzerland.
Currently, he is sponsoring 400 children in collaboration with Great Kingdom Partner from the US. Bishop Thagana also won the National Diversity and Inclusion Awards and recognition otherwise known as DIA Award in June 2023 for standing out as a peace and cohesion champion. Reporting for Prime Edition, I am Akida Kasim Akida.
Tuache kudanganyana. Hapa mali safi, mali mbichi, kijani kibichi. Tuko Lucky Game, tunashibishana. Dial *570 hash. Chagua sanduku ya Lucky Game. Utapata sanduku 7 zinakungoja mahali pale. Chagua yako. Mali kibao, tuko na viti, tuko na vifriji hapa, tuko na TV, tuko na microwave, na pia tuko na chapa. All happening for *570 hash. Jishibishe.
The inaugural African Football League, showcasing the best of African club football, kicks off on October 20th. Catch the matches live on KBC Channel 1 as Simba Sports Club of Tanzania battles Egypt's Al Ahly in the quarterfinals of the 8-team tournament. Follow the matches as Africa's best footballing talents compete in the inaugural league between 20th of October to 11th of November. Live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner. And indeed, glad that you still tuned. I'm Bernardo Kumu with the day's sports news. Cabinet Secretary for Sports Ababu Namwamba has urged county governments to assist in the upgrade of county stadiums as the country continues to prepare for the hosting of the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations. Now, Ababu, who was flanked by PS Peter Toom, was speaking when he officially received the Kericho Green Stadium from the contractor following successful renovations ahead of the Mashujaa Day celebrations tomorrow. Namwamba lauded the contractor for quality workmanship at the stadium. The 10,000-seater stadium has 2 changing rooms for both the home and away teams. Kenya won the co-hosting rights of the 2027 continental event together with East African neighbors Tanzania and Uganda.
Kushoto, kulia, marufuku, mpira wa kandanda, marufuku, mpira mchezo wa uogeleaji, mchezo ya handball, kulikuwa na marufuku tele. Na vile vile viwanja vyetu vilikuwa kwenye hali mbovu zaidi. Kufikia kiwango ambacho hata tulikuwa tunazungumzia uwezekano wa timu za Kenya kushindana kwenye viwanja vya kigeni. So tumefaulu pakubwa, tumeweka mpango maalum, master plan ya kutusaidia kurekebisha viwanja vyetu na tayari tumeanza kazi hiyo.
And former Harambee Star striker Dennis Oliech has partnered with Beyond Hoops organization for the launch of Dare to Dream Sports Festival, which will be held at Riruta Stadium this weekend.
Beyond Hoops has announced a one-day sports festival for this weekend at Riruta Stadium. Dennis Oliech, a former Harambee Stars forward, has collaborated with Beyond Hoops, a non-profit sports organization, to develop Dare to Dream.
Ni ya kwanza ndo ina happen Dago, so we are returning back to society.
Different kids that are playing at different categories. We have kids that are coming from like really poor neighborhoods. They're really talented, they're really smart at school. We have available scholarships within the country. How can we be the conduit that presents a platform that makes sure these kids get an education?
The festival will involve 5 sport disciplines, namely football, basketball, freestyle football, and esports. The event will be used to select Dagoretti Area All-Stars team for both boys and girls, who will take part in the Africa Connect International Trials to be held later this year at the Lenana School.
And to golf now, where Felix Kiamba from Machako Sports Club is the winner of the 6th Alumni Golf Challenge held at Ruiru Sports Club.
Kiamba, a handicap 24 and representing Godo Boys Secondary School in Makueni, scored an impressive 44 points, beating 252 other golfers in a thrilling competition. Kiamba received a seed bursary of 100,000 shillings. Crispin Owor, who went to Kabete Vet Lab Secondary School in Nairobi, emerged victorious in the men's category with a score of 40 points.
I've won before. I've actually been winning in most of the golf tournaments where I'm part of.
Na sisi ambao tulitoka huko na tumepata makazi, tunaweza kusupport katika ujenzi wa shule, tusupport kama kwa basari na kununua vitabu.
In the ladies category, Belinda, an alumna of Limuru Girls in Kiambu, showcased her golfing talent with an impressive 42 points to win the ladies title. This year's Alumni Golf Challenge saw a record-breaking turnout of 253 players from 96 schools across the country. Join Abwile for Prime Edition.
And 26 teams are set to take part in the Mombasa County National Hockey Festival, scheduled to be held this weekend at the Mombasa Sports Club. Now, the event, which is being organized by Mombasa County in conjunction with the Kenya Hockey Union, has attracted 16 men's and 10 women's teams. Meanwhile, the national men's hockey team left the country last night for South Africa to take part in the 2024 Paralympic Games qualifiers. Led by veteran Alan Iningu and Constant Wahura, the team will be competing in the qualifiers to be held between the 29th and 5th of next month at the University of Pretoria. The team will open their campaign against Namibia before facing Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda and Zimbabwe. Kenya will be joining the women's team that also traveled to South Africa on Tuesday for the same championships. And across the borders now, where Manchester United's hopes of a first appearance in the group stage of the Women's Champions League ended with a 3-1 defeat by PSG in the second round match played last night in Paris.
United came into the second leg in the French capital optimistic of getting past the two-time finalists after having come back to draw 1-1 in last week's first leg at Les Sports Village. Despite a decent display, United were undone by a superior PSG side containing a truly ruthless finisher in Liek Martens. The Dutch forward put the host ahead in the first half with a fierce strike after following up Tabitha Chawinga's low shot. She then restored the advantage with another neat finish past Mary Apps just a minute before Lisa Nalsan had equalized for United from close range. Martens' second goal proved a hammer blow to the visitors, who conceded again soon after to a sublime chipped finish from a tight angle from Sunday Baltimore. Leah Galton thought she had pulled one back with a looping header, but it was ruled out for a push in the back of PSG defender Claire Hunt, and Ella Toon struck the woodwork late on with an acrobatic effort. The draw for the group stage takes place on Friday.
Elsewhere, Brazil and Al Hilal forward Neymar is expected to undergo surgery after rupturing his anterior cruciate ligament ACL and meniscus in his left knee while on international duty during their 2-0 defeat against Uruguay.
Neymar was taken off on a stretcher in tears during the 2-0 defeat by Uruguay on Tuesday after he landed awkwardly after a challenge in the first half of the 2026 World Cup qualifier in Montevideo. It is unclear how long Neymar will be out, but the usual prognosis for recovery from an ACL rupture can be about 8 to 10 months. Neymar, who is Brazil's all-time male top scorer, moved to Saudi Arabia in the summer from Paris Saint-Germain, but has struggled with injuries in recent years. He missed 2 World Cup games in Qatar last year after he was injured in Brazil's opener against Serbia. Neymar had also been sidelined for multiple months of his last 2 seasons with PSG because of different ankle injuries, and his final campaign in France was cut short in February by ankle surgery.
Well, and on that note, that's how we end the Sports Edition today on Primetime Edition. I'm Bernardo Kumo. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great Mashujaa Day tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Okumu. I do want to read some of your comments. Ouma Okach says that he is looking forward to Mashujaa Day tomorrow, and also Henry or Pio says that he has enjoyed the coverage today and that has made him very excited about tomorrow's day, and definitely we will be covering for you live right here on KBC Mashujaa Day in Kericho. Remember, you too are a hero, and from me and the rest of the team, we want to wish you a very good night and happy Mashujaa Day.
Simama, Wakenya wote simama. Simama, wewe shujaa simama. Nchi yangu, jukumu langu, mimi ni shujaa, shujaa. Najivunia taifa langu, mimi ni shujaa, shujaa. Simama, Wakenya wote simama. Simama, wewe shujaa simama.
Kenya gained independence in 1963 after liberation from the British rule. Key players in the liberation struggle include Acheng Oneko, Bildad Kagia, Fred Kubai, Kungu Karumba, Paul Ngei, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, Koitalel Arap Samoei, and Elijah Masinde. Other notable freedom fighters include Muthoni Kirima, Mekatilili Wamenza, Mora Ngiti, among others. The significance of these heroes and heroines fighting for our liberation is that independence has allowed us to enjoy sovereignty in making decisions for the benefit of the people, preservation of our traditional values, indigenous languages and cultures. Moreover, we're able to celebrate national pride and enjoy political autonomy and our own economic control.
Ilikuwa safari ndefu na safari mzito, kwa sababu ilikuwa imeanziwa na wengine kutoka 1920 kurudi nyuma. Baba zetu walikuja kuchukulia mahali uchungu iliingia sana, na wakaamua wapiganie nchi yao. Wakaingia kwa kichaka wakiwa na mzazi na brother zake 7, wote wakaingia kwa kichaka na hakuna hata mmoja alirudi. Wakaingia na watu wao ndio kukomboa nchi. Walikuwa wanasema ni mashamba na freedom. Watu wa Kenya wasivae vinyasa, watu wa Kenya wasiende na ID, watu wa Kenya wawe na freedom ya kuenda mahali popote wanataka kuenda na kuajiriwa mahali popote mtu anataka kuajiriwa na kutumia resources zake vile alikuwa anataka. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa mapenzi sana yao wazazi wetu, na wale watu wote walipigania uhuru, walijitoa, wakajitoa, wakapoteza mali zao. Kama sisi familia Dedan Kimathi na familia zote zile waliingia kwa kichaka, waliishi maisha sio yao, kwa sababu wakiingia kichaka walikuwa watu wako na pesa, watu wako na mashamba, watu wako na resources. Lakini kutoka pale kuna watu hawakurudi, wa baba wa mama, kuna watu hawakurudi, so watoto wakawachwa wakiwa hatima. Na tena wale wa mama walitokea sasa, kama mzazi wetu alitokea lakini hakupata kitu, na sasa ni kuanza zero ndio aanze kuendelea, na hawakukufa moyo, wameendelea juu ya nchi na wameng'ang'ania nchi. Ndio sasa wewe na mimi leo tunaongea na tuko na masomo. hatugeipata.
An African was not classified as anybody. We used to have schools for only whites. Those who live in Nairobi, we used to have Prince of Wales, today's Nairobi School. We used to have Duke of York, today's Lenana, and many more. We used to have hospitals. Today people go to Nairobi to Nairobi Hospital. It was European hospital. So many things were essentially classified because Mzungu has made a decision that this country was to be his forever and for keeps. So when that was fought, and they fought the war, they decided to fight the war, Mashujaa Day was planned so that we should be remembering them because gallantly they did it, without pay they did it.
Each year since the attainment of independence, Kenya observed Kenyatta Day on 20th October as a holiday to commemorate the country gaining independence in 1963.
That I will be true and faithful to Kenya.
Traditionally, these celebrations were held at the Nyayo National Stadium and Moi Kasarani International Stadium, both in Nairobi. On this occasion, the military in their full regalia organized parades to showcase their prowess. Singers and traditional dancing troupes entertained the crowds. When Kenya adopted a new constitution in August 2010, several changes were made to the public holidays observed in the country. Kenyatta Day was renamed Mashujaa Day, a Swahili word that means Heroes Day. Who are heroes?
When you talk of a hero, it's somebody who has done something in an exemplary way, somebody who has done something which is beyond a limit of other people, and it is something which can be noted by many people. I look at a very key example of at our athletes, like Eliud has been one of our key heroes, and now we are looking at somebody like Kipyegon, who has just been breaking records all over. If you look at such kind of a person, which falls under one of the categories, it explains to you who a hero is. And we have even heroes in communities, and individuals themselves do many things which can make them to be a hero. The council recognized even a person like the incident we had at the Wilson Airport. There was a security person there who actually collected funds, $19,000, and returned back. That kind of a person of exemplary performance can be taken in to be a hero.
Further, heroes are those who have sacrificed selflessly, sometimes risk their lives for the benefit of the communities that they live in, and their actions may have been recognized globally.